lightning channel, but it's not infinite use, so I have to craft it kind of like crafting arrows. And every 20 uses of lightning channel takes a ton of materials. So there'd be a lot of farming. Beef stew gives also. Yeah, but... as far as gear, I don't yet have frost resist gloves or boots. That means farming 25 critters, 25 bugs for each of those. So I'd have to go farm 50 bugs to upgrade those. The thing is, though, I'm not hitting the timer. If I'm hitting the timer, that's the problem. But I'm not hitting the timer right now. What are you guys talking about? A really tough fight I'm trying to figure out. Probably need to stock up on health and mana potions, yeah. That's another thing is, I've mentioned this before during our Souls-like games. I don't mind games where I have to try and try and try again. But games where it uses up your consumables on failed attempts are so frustrating. And this is one of them. In between every attempt, I have to go rest again, I have to go warm my character back up, I have to, you know, use food and drink, and so it's like, after enough attempts, like, you can't do anymore. That's it. You're not allowed. No, that doesn't reach. Ow. And I'm on fire for 7. Nope. Yeah, I'm dead. So now I have to go back to town and rest again, and cook another meal, and drink another drink. I'm gonna keep trying, but unless I have a breakthrough of some sort before I run out of materials, I think I'm gonna be done. Like, I'm sad to say that, because we're 111 hours in. But this is like, they forgot games were supposed to be fun with this. Like, this is just shining a lot of glaring, this is shining a spotlight on a bunch of problems. Like, the visibility there between the fire and the shroud and the cold mist and the fog and the laser, like, it is so hard to see anything. And on top of that, the consumable situation. Like, in between every attempt, I'm having to farm more, basically. I'm using up a massive stockpile of resources for these attempts. Is there any way from watching his model to predict what he's about to do? I know he spins when he does the comets, but if I could see the laser before he fires the thing. Right, that's the spin, so he looks left and then comes back around. Alright, there's the laser. Oh god. Wow! That hurt. Let's use a potion. I don't think he ever does the meteors when he's on the outside. Updraft, you idiot. Oh my god. Alright. That's new. It looked like he was landing because he was stunned, and it killed me. We have to go back to town and sit in the living room again. I'm not even sure what damage type to use. Like, when he finally gets knocked down, I'm not sure, like, which thing to use. Other than not Shroud. He's completely immune to Shroud damage. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Should have parried the whole dragon back at himself. Yeah. Thank you, I needed that. Why is he still in combat with a full stun bar? Is this the game apologizing to me? Watch he lands on me again. Normally, when something like this happens, chat, in a game I'm playing, I would reset it because it makes me feel dirty. But this fight is bullshit. So I don't even care. Enshrouded devs, if you see this, I love your game except this. This is the worst part of the game. This abomination you made. And so I am going to take advantage of this bug to get past it. And if you reset my progress before the full release of the game, and I can't do this again, I'm probably done. They know. Yeah, one of the devs came into my game. They're like, oh shoot, we're about to lose a customer. Quick, bug the dragon. That is a lot of damage numbers, though, I'll tell you that. I think it's confirmed that if the target is holding very still like an idiot, Acid Bite is the most damage I can possibly do. Watch him follow me and kill me again. GG! Oh man, anyone just tuning in, first try. What a freaking battle it was. Amazing. Where's your loot button? No, stop gliding, I hate you. Shroud Core, Fell Dragon Youngling Head, Legendary Runes, and a really... Oh man, I don't know about this one. So it's the wands that do half one damage type, half of another. Frequently, your target is resistant to one of them. And I really don't like the half and half wands. This is a half and half wand, but it is a high level. So I don't know. Can't believe you reflected 48 meters in a row. Good game. I know. Amazing. I'm so glad we crafted this thing. What is that hit point bar over there? What is that? Wait, I'm sorry. Is the dragon alive again? It's Pregante. It's... Oh. I destroyed the body. Okay. Okay, where's all my death stuff? Chat, this stream had 15 more minutes in it. If I hadn't beat it by then, I think I would be done with Enshrouded for the time being. I'm not sure what to do with the dragon head now. We're about to find out, but... Dude. having it resistant to everything in an area with very low visibility, where you've got a timer because of the ice, half the area is also Enshrouded, it's out of range of most of your attacks most of the time. It was, dude, there was so much wrong with that fight. And it's like, okay, if you've got a boss, you can make it tough by adding a couple of really annoying things. Not all of them. Don't fill a bucket with annoying things and just dump them all on the boss. That was so awful. What do I do with the head? Do I put it in the fire? It's this. 50 sparks. Okay, we got people. Sparks, okay. Silver bars. Oh god, I have to go mine silver again. Malvine. Wolfsbane. I've never found a Wolfsbane ammo. Okay, Wolfsbane's the main thing. Like, all of that I know how to get except Wolfsbane. I have no idea how to get Wolfsbane. Is the dragon part of the MSQ? Yeah, apparently. Because I needed to upgrade the fire, and you have to upgrade the fire to increase the areas you're allowed to access. Being a melee class would be the worst there. Being a melee class, you might be able to do more... One of the problems I had is I spend so much mana stunning him, I might be out of mana when he hits the ground. So if you're a melee class, at least you've got the ability to dish out some damage when he hits the ground, unless he sits on you, like he did me on that one attempt. Is it considered bad form to recommend a video to watch the strategies? No. You can shoot me the video if you want. Like, for example, some of them, like, when he was doing the beam around, I was like, oh, I can jump in, glide, go under it, and come up on the other side, you know? When he did the horizontal beam, I could just double jump over that. The problem was when he was high in the air, and he did the beam right at me, and just locked on me, and it followed me around, and it was, like, blinding, so I couldn't see where I was going, and massive damage, and I felt like I couldn't avoid it. Okay. So, what are we supposed to do there? Wolfsbane. Silver. Okay, I know where I can get some silver. Where's that spot? Is it here? I think this spot was next to, like, 10 silver. Ow. Last bandage. Not much. Last time I think I got more than that, so only 5 silver ore that time. Pretty sure there was more down there. Or was it down there? Shoot, one of these 2 wells had some more. No, that's the one that had the Cyclops. I think it was this one. There's a YouTube video called Simple Strategy to Defeat the Fell Dragon Youngling. You know what? Let's check it out. Let's see what it was. Like, I'm sure they found some stuff that just is going to make it look so much easier. Let's see. Hold on, is my character safe right now? Yeah, he's fine.
Greetings, Flameborn. This is Eerie Knight of the Pseudoposse.
Flameborn.
We are back in Enshrouded, and today we're going to discuss how to vanquish the corrupted beast. Possessing a large health pool and a devastating array of high-damaging attacks, he is no pushover. He's probably one of the most difficult bosses in the entire game up to this point, so I'll give you my best tips and tricks for defeating him. But before you fight him, you'll need to first light all the balefires to summon him. They are pretty easy to find. As you can see a luminous red beacon upon the dragon, with the last being located in every... To fight the mini-boss with the whip, there's a mountain on top of the mountain, more than an altar, so that you can place some comfort-generating objects. The primary reason for doing so is it saves you from having to fast travel to a nearby base to refresh your well-rested bonus. And believe me, you don't want to do this fight without it. This way, if you lose an attempt...
Okay, so yeah, I complained about that. In between attempts, I had to teleport home, sit in my living room for a minute, and teleport back. So he got around that by saving time, by building a fully decorated house around his teleport. Arguable.
You respawn at this makeshift outpost, regenerate your bonus, and can immediately fly back. It definitely saves a lot of time, so I highly recommend it. Now let's get to the boss mechanics. The fight takes place within the mountain peaks. In between is a large ring covered in snow. In the center and surrounding areas below it is Deadly Shroud, so if you fall in there, instant death. But there are gales of wind that will give you a lift when gliding all around the perimeter of the ring. There are two phases to the fight that alternate back and forth. In the first phase, the corrupted beast will be in the center of the ring. If you start to fly upwards, that indicates he will breathe fire around the ring. He won't ever change direction mid-attack, so once he starts, he will continue in that direction. This attack stuns if hit, so if you get caught by a direct attack, you are most certainly dead. Next is the meteor. He'll do a little twirl spewing a bunch of meteors. They do AoE damage upon landing, and leave smoldering spots on the ground that if walked over, you'll take damage over time. His next attack doesn't do a lot of damage, but he creates a huge gust of wind with his wings, sending you flying. The last attack is actually what he does when he transitions to the second phase. He'll start flying and breathing fire towards the outer ring. During the second phase, he'll spend his time moving around the perimeter of the ring. Either he'll repeat his wind attack trying to knock you off. He also has his fire breath, except instead of going around the ring, he mostly just aims it at you. This attack isn't as strong as the fire around the ring, but the damage can quickly accrue if you stay within it too long. He also has another fire breathing attack in which he'll horizontally sweep a flame across the arena. Lastly, he'll use the same flying and breathing attack when he transitions back to the first phase in the center of the ring. So how do you ultimately defeat him? The tip is actually provided by the game itself as you approach the dragon. Either you parry his projectile or use stun arrows, which are crafted at the hunter. He has a bar underneath his health that fills every time you successfully parry a projectile or hit him with an arrow. Parrying gives a much larger boost to filling the bar, while the arrows provide a smaller but more frequent means to fill the bar that isn't reliant on the boss attacking you. Unfortunately, the only attack that is able to be parried is the meteor. So relying purely on parrying will make the fight last much longer, as a minute or two might go by in between meteor attacks. Once the bar fills and he staggers, he immediately will fall on the ring in which you have a chance to attack him. For melee characters, now I'll state that outright.
Or he falls on you and kills you immediately.
On parries will make the fight drag out too long. Of health can be useful in counteracting the weaker attacks or all the bonuses to endurance and stamina to get through the course of the fight. Make yourself the best foods for your build. For me, that was the milkshake. Useful if crafting resources are a bit tight, as the greater health potion is easier to craft than the superior or revitalizing health potions. These weaker potions can be useful in counteracting the weaker attacks or all the dots you are bound to get through the course of the fight. Make yourself the best foods for your build. For me, that was the milkshake for all the bonuses to endurance and stamina recharge. For all the gliding you're going to be doing, the beef stew for all the melee health and frost.
Oh, beef stew has wait, did they change this? I swear we just looked at the lady and she didn't have anything that had more than one frost resist. Let me see if I overlooked something. Thanks for the stream, cheers, mate. Thanks for being here, Neva. Hang on. I honestly want to know if I overlooked it. Vegetable soup, pumpkin soup, beef stew. No, it got nerfed. Look, one frost resist. So the beef stew got nerfed since he made that video. So beef stew gives me one frost resist, but what I was using also gave one, so it would have been the same. Okay. So when he made this video, he was this was way better.
Resistance and the open sandwich for more melee and health. For melee builds, I would also highly recommend placing a Vuka shrine to give yourself the Vuka bonus that gives you some extra hit points, but more importantly, 20% more melee.
I have seen these in the world. I didn't know you could build them.
Damage. Once you are ready and in the fight, regardless of your character build, parry meteors as much as possible as they fill the bar the quickest. However, immediately run as a flame attack is usually imminent. When snow is covering the ring, it is nearly impossible to outrun his flame attack. Instead, glide off the ring into the gales, so you can circle around the ring until it is safe to land. It is possible to position yourself while he is flaming completely or opposite your position. Take that opportunity to pepper him with stun arrows. In general, it is better to glide off the ring for safety instead of running on it. This also allows you to avoid all the AoE burning regions on the ring as he does his various attacks. Those dots can absolutely shred through your hit points. Over time, his attacks will actually destroy the top layer of snow, making running a lot easier and a viable way of avoiding his flame attacks. When he uses his wings to try and shove you off the ring, immediately go into a glide. You might have some bad luck and get thrown into a bad position and die, but most of the time you can use the gales to get yourself high enough to make it back onto the ring. When he transitions to the next phase, simply be out of the way of fire. This is one of the easiest attacks to avoid, so just stay away. Speaking of easy attacks to avoid, when he gets low and starts to breathe fire beam horizontally across the arena, just jump over it. You can use the opportunity to get some stun arrows in. When he is gearing up for his wing attack to produce a gust of wind, make sure the inner circle of the ring isn't behind you, as if you get shoved in there, your chances of survival are not high. Though not impossible, initiating a jump after being shoved can help with recovery. Either try to line it up so you get pushed along the ring, or into a gale so you can glide to safety. Many of my early deaths were from getting knocked into the interior, so avoid that mistake. As for his other flame attack in this phase, simply run, jump around, or if the snow is slowing you down, jump off and glide into the gales to fly around the ring. That is the gist of it, but there are some annoyances that can make this fight more grueling. First off, if you are melee, you will have a tougher time, as you can only do damage when you fill a stun bar. And sometimes he lands with his head off into the ring, which is not hittable. Don't try it. You can use a wand to hit him at the ring, but you do less damage if you aren't a high-powered magic user. Aside from that, he'll times like the wing attack and force you off the ring, and then do a meteor attack, missing out on a juicy parry opportunity, making the fight go longer and increasing the likelihood that one little mistake leads to instant death. Get unlucky and hit by a direct fire breath, dead. Get unlucky with how you got blasted off, dead. Finding the opportunity to parry even when he does the attack might be tricky, and then you'll have to wait till he rotates back to the attack. And there is no guarantee a successful parry will actually hit him. There's a decent chance it will whiff on by him. So if he doesn't play fair, can you not play fair as well? Yes, actually. You'll notice around the ring are mountain ranges. Venture too far beyond and the boss will reset. But if you stand on them, the boss is still in play. I would recommend the mountain range to the right upon entering the arena, as that gives a nice amount of room to run. Unfortunately, you cannot place an altar around here to build yourself a little fortress, but that isn't the end of the world. Fighting from this area does present some nice advantages. One, you completely avoid phase 1 attacks while he is in the center ring. Yes, you do miss out on the meteors, though you could try to glide back and get those. But I find that avoiding his phase 1 fire breath attack around the ring completely outweighs the loss of the meteor parries. That is his strongest attack, so avoiding that is awesome. During the second phase, he will fly over to you. These attacks are generally weaker and more avoidable. The real danger is the gust of wind from his wing attack forcing you off the mountain, but you can usually get back and avoid the boss resetting. The real strength in this strategy is you have much, and I mean much, more time to pepper him with the stun arrows. Essentially the entirety of phase 1. If you bring a bunch, you can simply pop down the mountain range, pepper him with arrows till he is stunned, fly to the ring, whack him, and then glide back. Taking out the wyvern on the mountainside is much safer than on the ring, as you don't have to worry about his phase 1 attacks simultaneously. That being said, make sure to take them out, as otherwise you'll have an army chasing after you. By using this strategy, you can avoid some of his most dangerous attacks while having more time to fill his bar and attack him yourself. Naturally, if you have a ranged character build, you can plop down on the mountainside and use your arrows and just pepper him. If you aren't specced into it, the damage is minimal and not worth it, as you won't do nearly enough damage just before you freeze to death. But it is a viable strategy if you can do high range damage. The only issue with this strategy is getting caught by a bad wind and dying in the shroud, or when trying to outmaneuver the wyverns, especially in the dark, falling down and resetting the boss when he is almost dead. That one hurt a lot. Don't fight at night. That is just a recipe for disaster. Well, I hope this video makes the boss easier for you all and avoids some unnecessary deaths. Thank you all for watching. If you found the video useful, consider
I'm not sure if there was anything there that we didn't already know. I mean, I think the main thing that was the cause of deaths for me was when he would do the tracking laser on you. And the way in what he was saying is basically jump into the outer area. Don't try to like run or blink. Just jump into the outer area and glide. And that I think would be the biggest tip I could pull from this. But as far as mechanics, I don't think we learned anything new here. But it looks like back when he recorded this a year ago, it looks like frost resist was easier to come by because beef stew was 3 times stronger than it is now. All I'm getting with this is stun arrows. Yeah. Muck, you don't need to go home to check recipes. Press J and you can go to workstations. Oh, okay. But yeah, gliding and stun arrows. Yep.
do meaningful damage, while ranged builds can pepper him with staff attacks and arrows through.
How hard was he hitting? I'm curious. 1725. Wow, he was probably a lot higher level than I was. Like, he's like 1200, 1800. Like, my biggest spells require like charging for a few seconds, and they hit for a few hundred damage. So he was doing 4 to 5 times my damage output. Interesting. Although it looks like my hit point bar is... Well, I don't know. His has more notches. So if we're looking at the notches, maybe my max health is like right there. You do more damage when it's stunned? It didn't feel like it. It really didn't feel like it. As all of my attacks said... You know what? Hold on a sec. Yeah, it says effective. Okay, you know what? That's part of the thing. What is he using? Slashing? So he never talked about resistances. So I tried fire, frost, shroud, electric, acid, blunt. And he was resistant to all of those. And it looks like slashing is super effective. I never saw the word effective when I tried this guy. Okay, yeah, he should have mentioned that. He should have mentioned that. Second to top comment. Hey, I'm a melee. This is one of the worst designed bosses in the existence of humanity. Thank you. Oh, man. Anything else? Seeing your deaths made me feel better about my own struggles. I got a melee build. I've been struggling with this. I tried this out and I got my third attempt. Thanks. Stand on the mountain strat was awesome. Okay. Yeah, that was crazy. So... I don't think I had anything that was effective against him. So I think no matter what I was using, it was doing like half damage. And even when he was stunned, I was doing half damage. Like you guys saw, even when he was on the ground bugging and I was spamming acid, it still took like, 80 shots. I read you should be like 30 to 35. What character level am I? I'm 30. I am level 30. Alright. Yeah. Yep. Well, that was a very frustrating experience. I'm glad it's behind us. However, I part of me wishes I had beat it normally, but that was just such a frustrating fight with all of those different factors. Between like the tracking beam and like if you stun him at the wrong moment and he falls on you, it's an instant death. That was a thing that was like seemingly unavoidable. And then the visibility. Like, the whole place is just awful to see. And then also you have an enrage timer because of the ice thing. Yeah. Alright, well, that frustration is behind us. We are going to save our progress here, and we will pick it back up from here next time.